Hello, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to the TV Days Drama Digest channel, where we dive deep into the heart-pounding, tear-jerking, and mind-bending world of Salem's most captivating storylines. Today, we're peeling back the layers of one of the soap opera's most intriguing mysteries, the transformation of Rachel Black. Is Rachel still the sweet, precocious girl we've watched grow up, or has something far more sinister taken hold? Could she be morphing into a shadow of one of Salem's most notorious figures, her grandfather, Stefano Di Mera? Or, in a twist that would shake the very foundations of Days of Our Lives, is someone orchestrating a plan to turn Rachel into a Stefano clone? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a dramatic, speculative journey through Rachel's story, exploring every dark corner and tantalizing clue. For those who've been glued to their screens, you'll recall the chilling moment when Rachel witnessed a harrowing scene. Johnny Di Mera, her cousin, pointing a gun at her uncle, E.J. Di Mera. The tension was palpable, the stakes sky-high. But what happened next? Rachel, in a move that stunned even the most seasoned soap opera fans, kept silent about the events that followed. Whispers among the fandom suggest something unthinkable. Rachel may have been the one to pull the trigger on EJ. Yes, you read that right, Rachel. The young girl we've known as Kristen and Brady's daughter might be at the center of a crime that could upend Salem forever. But why? How? And most importantly, who is Rachel becoming? Let's dive into this labyrinth of drama, betrayal, and identity and explore whether this story is unfolding on Days of Our Lives or if we're witnessing the birth of something entirely new. The incident, a gun, a secret, and a shocking theory. Let's set the stage. Picture this. A dimly lit room, shadows dancing on the walls, and the air thick with tension. Johnny, driven by motives we can only speculate about, stands with a gun trained on EJ, his own uncle. Rachel, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, witnesses this confrontation. Her wide eyes take in every detail, the glint of the gun, the fury in Johnny's expression, and the fear, or perhaps defiance, in EJ's. But what happens next is where the story takes a turn into uncharted territory. Rachel, instead of running for help or confronting the situation, chooses silence. She buries the truth, hiding it even from her parents, Kristen and Brady. And then, the bombshell theory drops. What if Rachel was the one who shot EJ? This idea, as outrageous as it sounds, isn't entirely implausible when you consider the context. EJ Di Mera has been a thorn in Kristen's side for years. His manipulative schemes and power plays threatening her at every turn. Rachel, fiercely loyal to her mother, has seen the toll EJ's actions have taken. But it's not just Kristen. EJ's threats have extended to Rachel's beloved grandmother, Marlena Evans, a pillar of strength in Salem. Rachel's disdain for EJ has been simmering, her young heart unable to reconcile his cruelty with the family ties that bind them. Could this have been the tipping point? Did Rachel, in a moment of impulsive rage, take matters into her own hands? The image of Rachel, a child, wielding a gun is jarring, but Days of Our Lives has never shied away from pushing boundaries. Fans have taken to forums and social media, buzzing with theories. Some argue it's impossible. Rachel's too young, too innocent. Others, however, point to the show's history of dramatic twists. Children in Salem have been known to surprise us before. After all, this is a town where secrets fester and innocence is often a facade. The question lingers. If Rachel did pull the trigger, what does this mean for her character? Is she still the Rachel we know, or is something darker taking root? Rachel's descent, a child's tantrums, or something more? To understand Rachel's potential transformation, we need to look at her recent behavior. Over the past year, Rachel has become increasingly volatile, her tantrums a source of frustration for Kristen and Brady. Once a bright, spirited girl, she now lashes out with a ferocity that feels almost unnatural. Her outbursts aren't just typical childhood rebellion, they carry a weight, a calculated edge that has fans raising their eyebrows. She's clashed with her parents, defied their authority, and shown a stubborn streak that feels eerily familiar. And that familiarity points to one figure, Stefano di Mera, the patriarch whose shadow looms large over Salem. Stefano, the master manipulator, was known for his cunning, his ruthlessness, and his unrelenting drive to protect his family at any cost. Rachel's recent behavior mirrors these traits in unsettling ways. Her defiance, her secrecy, and her fierce protectiveness over Kristen and Marlena all echo Stefano's legacy. But is this mere imitation, a young girl emulating the grandfather she's heard so much about? Or is there something deeper at play? Could Rachel be becoming Stefano in the only way possible, not through reincarnation or supernatural means, but through a psychological transformation that's turning her into a spiritual heir? The idea of Rachel as a Stefano clone might sound like the stuff of science fiction, but in Salem, nothing is off the table. Days of Our Lives has a storied history of doppelgangers, brainwashing, and identity swaps. Could someone, perhaps a hidden enemy or even a member of the di Mera family, be grooming Rachel to embody Stefano's legacy? The thought is chilling. Imagine a shadowy figure, pulling strings from behind the scenes, planting ideas in Rachel's mind, nurturing her anger, and shaping her into a weapon. The di Mera family is no stranger to such schemes. Stefano himself was a master of manipulation, and his children have inherited his knack for intrigue. Could EJ, Kristen, or even an outsider be orchestrating this change, turning Rachel into a pawn in a larger game? The Stefano connection, legacy or curse? To explore this further, let's consider Stefano's influence. Known as the Phoenix, Stefano was a larger-than-life figure whose presence still haunts Salem. His children, including EJ and Kristen, have spent their lives grappling with his legacy, some embracing it, others rejecting it. Rachel, as Stefano's granddaughter, carries his blood, but does she also carry his spirit? Her recent actions suggest a darkness that goes beyond typical teenage rebellion. Her secrecy about the shooting, her protectiveness over her family, and her growing defiance all point to a personality shift that feels almost predestined. But what if this isn't just Rachel acting out? What if someone is deliberately molding her into Stefano's image? The di Mera family has enemies aplenty, and what better way to destabilize them than to corrupt their youngest member? Imagine a scenario where Rachel is being manipulated, perhaps through subtle psychological tactics or even something as extreme as hypnosis, a tactic Stefano himself used in the past. Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, the mad scientist who's been involved in countless di Mera schemes, could be lurking in the shadows, his expertise in mind control turning Rachel into a vessel for Stefano's legacy. Or perhaps it's someone closer to home. Kristen, desperate to protect her daughter, might unknowingly be pushing Rachel toward a darker path. The parallels between Rachel and Stefano are striking. Like her grandfather, Rachel is fiercely loyal to her family, but that loyalty comes with a possessive edge. Stefano's love for his family was often twisted, leading him to justify heinous acts in the name of protection. Rachel's actions, hiding the truth about the shooting, lashing out at those who threaten her loved ones, suggest she's walking a similar path. But is this her choice, or is she being guided by an unseen hand? The thought of Rachel as a Stefano clone isn't just dramatic, it's a tragedy in the making, a young girl caught in the crosshairs of a legacy she doesn't fully understand. The role of family, Kristen, Brady, and the di Mera legacy. Rachel's parents, Kristen and Brady, are at the heart of this story. Kristen, a di Mera through and through, has always been a complex figure. Part villain, part devoted mother. Her love for Rachel is undeniable, but it's also tinged with the same intensity that defines Stefano. Kristen's own battles with EJ have put Rachel in the middle of a family feud, and her protective instincts may be fueling Rachel's rebellious streak. Could Kristen, in her desperation to shield her daughter, be inadvertently pushing her toward a darker path? The irony would be heartbreaking. a mother trying to save her child, only to set her on a course toward destruction. Brady, on the other hand, represents a counterbalance. As a Black, he's tied to the more grounded, heroic side of Salem's history. But Brady's own struggles, his battles with addiction, his tumultuous relationship with Kristen have left him distracted, unable to fully guide Rachel. Her tantrums, her secrecy, and her growing defiance are cries for attention, but they're also signs of a deeper rift. Brady's attempts to rein her in have failed, and his frustration only seems to push Rachel further away. Could his inability to connect with her be leaving room for someone else to step in, someone with a more sinister agenda? Then there's EJ, the uncle who's become Rachel's target. EJ's schemes have made him a lightning rod for conflict in Salem, and his threats against Kristen and Marlena have clearly affected Rachel. If she did shoot him, it wasn't just an act of rage, it was a statement. But what drove her to such an extreme? Was it a moment of passion, or was it calculated, a move straight out of Stefano's playbook? The DiMera family is a house divided, and Rachel's actions could be the spark that sets it ablaze. Fan theories and speculation. What's next for Rachel? The Days of Our Lives fandom is abuzz with theories about Rachel's transformation. Some believe she's simply acting out, her behavior a natural response to the chaos of her family. Others see something more sinister, a plot to turn Rachel into a new Stefano, orchestrated by an enemy or even a family member. Social media posts on X have speculated about everyone from Rolf to a resurrected Stefano himself being behind this change. One particularly wild theory suggests that Rachel's memories of the shooting aren't real, that they've been implanted as part of a larger scheme to manipulate her. In Salem, where mind control and false memories are practically a rite of passage, this isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Another theory points to Johnny, the one who held the gun. Was he acting alone, or was he part of a larger plan? Could Johnny, struggling with his own place in the DiMera family, have inadvertently set Rachel on this path? The idea of Rachel as a pawn in a DiMera power struggle is compelling, especially given the family's history of betrayal and manipulation. Fans are also wondering about Marlena's role. Could Salem's beloved psychiatrist uncover the truth before it's too late, or will she become another target of Rachel's growing darkness? The bigger picture, Salem's endless cycle of drama at its core, Rachel's story is a microcosm of what makes Days of Our Lives so addictive. It's a tale of family, loyalty, and the thin line between love and obsession. Whether Rachel is becoming Stefano, being turned into a clone, or simply grappling with her own identity, her arc is a reminder that in Salem, no one is ever truly safe. The town is a pressure cooker where secrets simmer and explode in spectacular fashion. Rachel's transformation, whether natural or orchestrated, promises to shake up the status quo, forcing every character to confront their own demons. As we wait for the next episode, one thing is clear: Rachel's story is far from over. Is she still the Rachel we know, or is she becoming something else entirely? Is she a victim, a villain, or something in between? The answers lie in the twists and turns of Days of Our Lives, and we can't wait to see what happens next. So, dear fans, what do you think? Is Rachel no longer Rachel? Is she destined to carry Stefano's torch, or will she break free from his shadow? Join us in the comments, on X, or wherever you discuss your favorite soap opera moments, and let's unravel this mystery together. Conclusion. A legacy in the making. Rachel Black's journey is one of the most compelling stories in Days of Our Lives right now, a saga that blends family drama, psychological intrigue, and the ever-present specter of Stefano DiMera. Whether she's acting out of her own volition or being molded by a hidden hand, Rachel's transformation is a testament to the show's ability to keep us on the edge of our seats. As we watch her navigate the treacherous waters of Salem, one question lingers: who will Rachel become? A hero, a villain, or something entirely new? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.